What's going on, Taurus? I hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be a reading for May 2022. So in this reading, Taurus, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for May 2022. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming for May 2022. We're also going to close off with some advice and messages from your angels and spirit guides, and also much more, Taurus. So before we begin, I'd like to let you know that you are definitely very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, Taurus. I appreciate you taking the time to drop by and check this reading out. And if you feel that it resonates with you, then definitely smash that like button, subscribe if you have not already for future updates. That'd be greatly appreciated over here, Taurus. But without further ado, we're going to crank into this reading. I've also pre-shuffled some oracle cards, and we will be clarifying these cards as we go through the reading. And last thing, before we start, as you can see, I'm on camera, Taurus, for the returning viewers. So let me know what you think about this energy, whether you like just seeing the cards or me on camera. I'd be interested to see what you think. But let's go ahead and jump into this reading for you, Taurus, and see what would like to come through for May 2022. So give me a moment and we'll pull the energy. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for Taurus. Give me a sec, Taurus. We will lay out these cards and see what's going on here for you. All right. All right, Taurus. Interesting energy coming through for you. So your opportunity for May 2022 is the Two of Pentacles here. So some of you may be having to make a decision about something that you've been juggling for quite a while. And intuitively, I do sense this could be a career move for a lot of you. Career, the way that you make money in this world, the way that you provide value to other people. I think you have a situation for a lot of you where you actually have a situation where you love what you do to a certain extent. But basically, you have this other part of you that says you've come to the end of the road and it's time to start something new. So let me show you why I'm feeling that, because in your challenge, you have the Ace of Pentacles, Taurus, in your challenge. So this is some sort of, maybe it's an opportunity. Someone wants to offer you a new job opportunity. This also could be some of you having that feeling that you're meant to start your own business in May 2022. But basically, your opportunity may be to juggle something. So this could simply be, Taurus, to start your business on the side while also still keeping your current job. It's the opportunity to kind of start something new, but also keep what you got going on. Because I do sense there's a feeling, like a gnawing feeling of just like, it's almost like a contract has come to an end, Taurus. Now this contract could be literally a contract in like a lease to an apartment that you're meant to stay. You're not going to re-sign it though. It's a contract with a soul, another soul that you've been adding value to. You've been maybe working with this group of people or this person that you're having a hard time letting go of it, because maybe you feel like you're going to let people down, but basically your soul knows that a tough decision is coming for you to be more authentically aligned with what it is you're really here to do. Okay, so I'm getting like Taurus here, and your overall general energy here, we have the Six of Wands, we have the World card, we also have the Temperance card. So this is a very powerful month. I think it's going to be a good month overall for you, Taurus, with this energy, right? Six of Wands to the World to the Temperance card. Basically, the main energy coming through, Taurus, is that you've already like completely killed it at something. So this could be working in somewhere for the last 10 years, and you do a great job. And so that's why you're reluctant to let it go, because there's this feeling coming through where you're like, I kind of realized that I've reached the end of the road. The World card talks about you're at the end of the fool's journey and you get a reward for this now. But basically, the Six of Wands is like, you may be very good at what you do. And so there's a reluctance to kind of step into that new energy with the Ace of Pentacles here, right? Starting your own thing or maybe even transitioning. And basically it's a balancing. The Temperance card here, the Temperance card is about a successful merging of opposites. And it's funny that the opportunity would be the Two of Pentacles, kind of juggling things. So you see that, like that merging of the two, the Pentacles and also the Cups here. So there's emotional, the difference is that the Temperance card is about emotional alchemy. So basically, there's something that you're holding on to that makes a lot of sense to hold on to. It really does. Like there's this feeling like whether this is to do with a person, a soul contract with a person, a contract to live a certain place in a certain apartment, or literally a contract for a work. Like I get this feeling where it's like you like it, but there's more out there for you. There's something more for you. So we're going to have to clarify, Taurus, but let's go ahead and move on to what you don't see coming. You have the Queen of Swords to the Ace of Cups, and you see how the Queen of Swords is just kind of pointing her finger, staring right at that Ace of Cups. That's new love, that's new positive emotion. So for a lot of you here, Taurus, there may be a very tough decision that you have to make to kind of maybe to let something go. This could be a relationship for some of you that you've been thinking about, oh, what do I do here, what do I do? Because the last card here in what you don't see coming is the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords comes after the Ace of Cups. So basically, I feel like for you, Taurus, you're going to be tapping into that Queen of Swords energy. The Queen of Swords is someone who speaks up for herself. She doesn't really take any shit from anyone. She's very good at being disciplined as well, perhaps. And I feel like with whatever this challenge, this Ace of Pentacles is, basically you're going to have to move forward in a lot of unknown, but basically you're going to move towards it because you know that it's more emotionally fulfilling to you than what you've been doing, right? Ace of Cups, this could even be new love because a lot of you could have reached the end of a road, and what you don't see coming, new love comes and it just kind of fizzles out your old contracts, and you're like, well, we're not gonna do that anymore. But I'm telling you, there's a big emphasis on career. There's a big emphasis on career for you, Taurus. So for a lot of you, it's mainly gonna have to do with that dinero, that money, right? But for some of you, this could even be some sort of old contract like that. But we're gonna have to clarify. But the advice from Spirit is to pretty much step into the unknown because you feel that emotional call. You feel like, you've already been victorious. You've already, it's almost like you want to go out on top, basically. Like, so in a lot of professions, you see this with a lot of like athletes as well, where like they become the champion. They know there's not much more expansion there, but they keep showing up when it's like they should have already been gone. So for you, it's the same feeling where it's like, that there's something that I enjoy. I don't even know how I'm going to live out without this thing, whatever the contract is, a job or whatever. You're like, I literally don't know how I'm going to live without this, but I know that there's something more for me. I know that I'm being called in a new positive emotional direction. And this may not make a lot of logical sense. The Ace of Cups, this is the centerpiece to your reading, Taurus, and what you don't see coming. And the World card right above it in your overall general energy here, it just seems like, you're meant to do away with the olds, and it's like some sort of long-term thing. Like whatever it is that you're letting go of, Taurus, like I'm talking about something that you've been doing for a minute, for a hot second. Like you've been doing this for a while, whether this be with a person or living a certain place. We're going to have to see though. But in the advice from Spirit, I feel like you're going to have to be willing to look like the bad guy, basically. And that might be a message that might be a little bit weird to hear, but the advice from Spirit is like, go into this darkness. You have the Moon, you have the Five of Cups, and you also have the Seven of Swords here in what you don't, in the advice from Spirit. So the Moon card here is I just get the feeling whatever this Ace of Pentacles is, it's in a development phase. Whether this could be, if this is not so much a career reading for you and it's relationship, someone could be making you an offer that you really know you want to do because you're done with the old shit, but you're just like, wow, like I don't know if it's real, I don't know if it's real. This could be career as well for a lot of you. It is for a lot of you, I should say. But basically the Five of Cups in the advice from Spirit, Taurus, you have to admit that you're hungry for something new, and like you can try to avoid this all you want here, And I'm not saying you have to get up and leave this, because remember, the opportunity is the Two of Pentacles. It's maybe making a tough decision, but it also could be juggling things for a while. So basically, let the sadness set in and really admit to yourself that that the Ace of Cups is calling my name, and the Five of Cups is where I'm at right now. So there is like a sadness that I think it's just rather inconvenient for you to admit to, because it will shake up your life so much. And you have the Seven of Swords and the advice from Spirit, and this is kind of coming through as the moment where you're gonna either stay where you are and run into a tower, or you're gonna pull the Seven of Swords and catch it while it's small. Now, whoever you're contracted to, whatever this contract is with a job, a place, or a person, I feel like they're gonna view you as the bad guy for walking away from this, Taurus, and they're not, literally no one's gonna understand you, basically. And they're gonna be like, Taurus, you're so good at what you do. What are you talking about? Like, you have so much respect here. It's like there's this energy of like you're esteemed, like someone, wherever you're at, Taurus, you have a lot of respect, like people know you. It's like your identity, basically. But your identity, it's almost like the King of Wands, Queen of Wands wants to come out, where it's something bigger than what you're currently doing. But basically, the Seven of Swords here, especially the Ten of Swords being in the in what you don't see coming, there's a feeling of a little bit shady energy. But I'm telling you, it's kind of what people are going to project onto you, not actually your own energy. Now, this could be a guilt complex for a lot of you, where you just kind of are, you stick around in certain contracts way longer than it should have been. Okay, so this is just what I'm sensing, Taurus. But let's go ahead and get some more advice. This is some mid-reading messages for you, the energy you're meant to embody in May. You have Katumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answers that you seek. Trust what you know, Taurus. You already know the answers that you seek. Trust what you know. And I feel like there's a knowing that there's something new, there's something bigger, there's something better for you. And you're going to have to come to an ending that just is very inconvenient to the ego, or just inconvenient to your practical life, because we need food, shelter. And if you just let go of these contracts, you're like, well, what the hell do I do now? And yeah, because you have trusting heaven, Archangel Michael. Okay, Archangel Michael, you are safe, angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. Allow a miracle to occur. Basically, what this is saying is, like, you guys are afraid because the Moon card here, basically in the advice from Spirit, they're telling you, you don't fear the unknown, Taurus. You just fear what you project into the unknown. So instead of projecting your fear onto this Ace of Cups, this new inspiration that you're doing that's going to terminate the contract, basically surrender and allow a miracle to occur. You're very divinely protected because of the world. Your soul knows, and the overall energy, there's nowhere to go from here. And so it's like trust heaven here. It's like expect the best and you will receive the best, because your attitude determines what you're going to attract in your life. White Eagle, Ancestor Spirit. Ooh, connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed at this time, Taurus. A family wound or pattern can be healed at this time. So this may be, I'm just getting the feeling of like playing small. Like there may be people in your family. Now this could manifest different ways for a lot of you, because the advice from Spirit, this could be substance abuse, right? Five of Cups here. There's a lot of people in my family come from kind of like a lot of alcoholism. So personally, I don't touch alcohol. And because of that, or when I do, I rarely do, I broke a family curse, right? I healed an ancestral wound. So for you, I just get the feeling like this ancestral wound is just from social conditioning of playing small. Maybe it's like, your challenge is to be an entrepreneur because no one in your family is an entrepreneur. That's even my challenge. There's a few, but there's not a lot of entrepreneurs in my family. So when I went out on the quest to become an entrepreneur, no one really understood it. They were just like, dude, what are you doing here? So I don't know. There's a feeling of you need emotional balance because you're not getting it where you are. Overall energy. And also, this is an angel. You're very divinely protected here in May, Taurus. Very divinely protected. So wear that cloak of wisdom. Always view things from the objective perspective rather than getting lost in the sauce. But let's go ahead and move on to the clarification portion of this reading, Taurus, and see what else would like to come through for you. So the first card that I'd like to clarify is why the World is here. Why is the World card here in your overall general energy for May? Very positive reading, basically, but it's just like a little bit of like I'm just getting like unbalanced root chakra. Like your root chakra might be, the physical, like, 'cause you need to change your physical life, basically. This is physical, relationship, place you live, job, something like that. Because I feel like your internal game is kind of on point. So it's like, then why not just, I don't know, hold on. Why is the World card here for Taurus? The World is clarified by the Justice card to the Four of Pentacles here. So, yeah, you've been playing it small. You've been holding back, and basically the Justice card is here to say that there needs to be a balance to that, because the way that you're showing up in the world is not who you really are. I swear to God, like, you're dumbing yourself down for people or something, like at your job or your partner. It's like you're literally like not showing the world who you really are. And right now there's a spiritual justice that brings that to an end. Justice to the Four of Pentacles. Like, it's like literally like just staying somewhere you're not meant to stay. Bam, bam, bam. Something happens here where it gives you the freedom to start something new, but it just might be scary. So basically this is something that's been waiting to happen, right, Taurus? So just be aware of this, okay? Justice to the Four of Pentacles. Now, for some of you, you might just be minimalizing. You might be like stepping away from something that pays you well or a partner that treats you well because you're like, there's no expansion here. I get it. I've already done there. I've been there, done that. Six of Wands. You know, so some sort of physical victory needs to be replaced with like the unknown of stepping into your emotions. And then you'll get a new physical victory eventually. But let's see why the Two of Pentacles here is in your opportunity. It could just be simply plotting out what you're going to do while still showing up to the existing contract, but realizing, really making a declaration to yourself that this contract cannot stay. So although I'm stuck with it for now, I'm going to do everything I can in my power to change this. You know, I mean, there's like, I've been there before as well. Like, you know, before I even started this YouTube channel, like working other jobs, I would dedicate, like, I'd be just exhausted at the end of the day because I'd be going to my normal job, but then I'd be like putting all my energy into the side hustle. So it's like, maybe, I don't know, because it's not going to be like that for some of you though. It's different, but let's see why the Two of Pentacles is here. Okay, Two of Pentacles is clarified by the Death card here, basically. So I feel like, once again, the Four of Pentacles to the Justice, you've been trying to just, no, I'm practically with this contract, it's good enough. The feeling is it's good enough. The Spirit is saying, no, it's not freaking good enough. Stop lying to yourself, Taurus. It's a person, it's a contract, it's a place. There's something more for you that's going to expand you. And so you're going to have to put one of these down, basically. Basically, you're either going to have to kill your dream as to what you really know what you want to do, or you're going to have to kill what you really know, the contract that's over, right? Get out of the contract, because the Death card's coming into town. You know, it doesn't mean anyone's physically going to die. It means there's a death to the ego. Ego death, because I'm telling you, whatever this contract is that you're tied to, it builds up your ego, and that's not bad. I don't mean the negative ego. I mean that you've probably worked hard to get to where you are. You're esteemed where you are. People value you. But basically, no one's going to understand when you walk in and say, this contract is over now. They're going to be, what do you mean? What are you going to do? It's like, don't even worry about it, Junior. But let's go ahead and clarify why the Ace of Pentacles here is your challenge. And it's right next to that ancestor spirit. So maybe there hasn't been a lot of entrepreneurs in your family. Even if there has been, maybe you feel a pressure to live up to that. You know, for a select few of you, roles could be reversed. It's like you're an entrepreneur, you just want something more emotionally fulfilling. Although, that, I mean, I think it's fulfilling, but let's see. To each its own. Tomato, tomato. Why is the Ace of Pentacles here in your challenge, Taurus? Page of Swords. So there's something you're putting off. Something you're putting off. In essence, like, I remember when I knew I wanted to start a side business, but I was still stuck in my own job. It's like your challenge is that you could be, you know, instead of scrolling on Instagram for 2 hours a day, or instead of like just kind of like fucking off and like reading a book, it's like you could really be getting more information about a practical plan that you're going to do to make this new dream of yours happen, right? Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups in this. So basically you need to get more information. Now for others of you, if this is a love offer, you're going to have to get more information about whether or not this person is serious, because I feel like this love offer could be the thing that takes you out of the contracts that you have going currently, but you just have to get more information. That's for some of you. For the vast majority though, Taurus, it's there's almost this feeling of like, no matter how much effort I put into something, I don't like, it might not work, but you have to be willing to take that risk. If it was easy, everyone would do it. You know, if it was easy, everyone would just get up and say, I'm going to just go follow my heart. But it's not easy. That's why not a lot of people do it, right? So, but you can do it. If you're a match to this reading, you have what it takes. There's just, once again, maybe ancestral trauma. Once again, maybe not trusting heaven, just being a little bit too practical. You've been too practical for a very long time, Taurus, basically, is what we're trying to say. And because of that, you've been lying to yourself. Something's coming to an end now. The Justice card to the world. Like, you can't stay. Or you can stay, but I'm just telling you, you might not have a good time. It's up to you. You have free will. You can do whatever you want. Now, let's clarify why the Ace of Cups is the centerpiece to your reading, right? Because this card bleeds into all the other cards. Why is the Ace of Cups the centerpiece in what you don't see coming? So there's going to be an acceleration in this feeling of the termination of a specific contract and something more. Let's see, why is the Ace of Cups here for you, Taurus? Okay. Yeah, there's people that you're meant to meet here. Queen of, Ace of Cups to the Four of Wands in what you don't see coming here. This very well could be a new career idea that you just know is going to emotionally fulfill you, that leads to soulmates, because you find the ones you love doing what you love, Taurus. So I basically feel like there's also this feeling of like a lack of authentic relationships. Like right now you probably have relationships that are I'm not saying they're completely unhealthy, but they don't have that like whoa feeling. Right? That was me before I even started YouTube, before I became, changed my alias to the Autistic Mystic. There was people around me that I did love that were great. It was contracts, but at a certain point, you realize that when you do what you are called to do from spirit, you're going to meet all the people that you're meant to. So there's a bigger reason. It's not just that you're going to shift careers here. It's a lifestyle, basically. So some of you might be trying to create a lifestyle because, because that's like, who doesn't want that, basically? But once again, you have the Eight of Swords coming through. So it's like you don't understand how this is going to happen, basically. So I would just ask you, like, what are your talents? What are your abilities? And are you giving those abilities to people in the most optimal way? Or are you just kind of selling yourself short here and you got to get out? This also could be applied to the context of a relationship in your own way. But I want to clarify that Ten of Swords that I just showed you. Why is the Ten of Swords here for you, Taurus, and what you don't see coming? Two of Wands to the Empress here. Two of Wands to the Empress in what you don't see coming to the Ten of Swords here, Taurus. So, once again, you just know that you deserve better. The Empress here, there's something that, you've come to the end of the road, you're esteemed, but there's more, because the universe is infinite to the Empress, right? She's all the queens combined. She knows that she has the ability to create physical opulence, and the Two of Wands is here as well. So something comes to an end that leaves you at a choice point with just you and your confidence, basically. Basically, like, whatever this is, it's like, I just feel like maybe there's a block in your confidence. Even though you're confident, maybe you're just not applying that confidence into actually doing it. It's like there's a feeling of something ends and you just know, it's like, okay, now it's time to go. It's time to go on a new adventure, create this new thing. But basically that doesn't happen until you go into this deep sadness, because the advice from spirit, right? Look at that. Something is very, very, very dissatisfying to you, Taurus, and there's a lot of reasons why you're not just getting up and going, because you do have probably a contract with this. Like whatever, soul contracts with people you're working with or whatever it might be. So let's go ahead and move on to the advice from spirit, Taurus, and let's clarify why the moon is here. Embrace the unknown, because you don't fear the unknown, you fear what you project into the unknown. So are you on demon time, or are you trusting heaven? Because you're not on demon time, Taurus, but like some of you might be. Why is the moon card here for Taurus? Okay, yeah. Into the unknown nights. Moon and device clarified by the Knight of Swords. You just gotta go. You know it's time to go, right? Very similar energy, Taurus, to this Queen of Cups pointing right at that Ace of Swords, or no, the Queen of Swords pointing right at that Ace of Cups. It's like you got to go, even though you don't know what's gonna happen. The Knight of Swords is just like the advice is like, listen, don't give a shit, Taurus. Sometimes I just feel like there's a people like maybe there's a little bit of a. I'm not going to go there. But basically there's a bigger, much bigger soul family type of life that's waiting for you, but it lies on the other side of fear and doing the work that you know you have to do. Like if I literally asked you, like, what do you have to do to create your dream life? I guarantee you could tell me what you have to do, but you just have, it's like this like cloud of like social conditioning that we all fall into, like a derp. Basically you might be in a derp state. A derp state is when you're not really in control of your mind and you're just like a drifter. You're like, well, this job pays me good and these people are half decent to me and this is just what I'll do because everyone in my family does it. Fuck that. You didn't come here for that. You did maybe if that's what you want, but I don't think that's what you want. Let's clarify what the Five of Cups is here in the advice, because this is what I'm kind of feel like I'm translating this frequency for you, for some of you. You know, obviously this is a general reading, Taurus, okay? Keep that in mind. Why is the Five of Cups here? Yeah, once again, the Five of Cups is clarified by now the Ten of Swords has come out twice. So there's this deep get emotional about this ending. It's okay to be emotional. You don't have to be like me, like where it's just like, you know, a little bit sharp energy. Feel sad, you know, this ending, like there's something that you're letting go of that you love. You do love it, and I'm not like, basically there's this whole frequency of playing small. That's for some of you. For others of you though, if you're very esteemed, if you're not playing small, there's this feeling of letting go of something that you loved at one time, but you just know it's time to let it go. Does that make, like the main message of this reading, you just know it's time to let go, even though it doesn't fully make logical sense. But I'm telling you, when you look back on this in a few years, it will, basically. Now, the last card that I want to clarify is the Seven of Swords, because in the advice from Spirit, this is kind of avoiding a tower. Get out while you're, get out while you still have your sovereignty, basically, or you still have your choice. Because sometimes the universe makes choices for you on a soul level if you're not keeping up with the downloads. But let's see why the Seven of Swords is here. Okay, yeah, Seven of Swords is what I sense, clarified by the Seven of Pentacles here. So in the advice from Spirit, you're walking away from something that you're quite proud of, or that it gives you a status, it gives you a sense of purpose. Like whatever you're walking away from, I kind of feel like I slipped into a bit of like, oh, it sucks so bad, but it's not so bad. If it sucked so bad, you would have already been gone. So you need to have the courage to look at what is really going to make me satisfied. You didn't come here to arrive at death safely. You came here to create an epic life. An epic may be a relaxed life. Doesn't mean you have to be running around crazy. More peace. That might be more epic. So, why not? So with that being said, Taurus, I'm going to conclude this reading. Hope that you enjoyed it. And if you need more information on your situation or your life in general, feel free to book a personal reading with me. You can find the information on that in the description box underneath this video. Always great to work with you guys one-on-one. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this general reading. Also, let me know what you think of seeing me on camera. Very intense month, but I think it's going to be good. A lot of recalibration, Taurus. So with that being said, I'm going to bounce. Thank you so much for tuning in. Talk to you next time.